For months, Nikki Bella had been telling everyone the same thing. She was the most dominant woman in WWE. She had the championship. She had the confidence. She had the numbers behind her. And most importantly, she was only 26 days away from becoming the longest-reigning WWE Divas Champion in history. But there was one problem. The Divas division was changing. And suddenly, Nikki Bella wasn't looking at the same competition she had been dominating for months. She was looking at Sasha Banks. She was looking at Becky Lynch. She was looking at Charlotte. She was looking at Naomi and Tamina. And for the first time, the woman who proudly called herself fearless admitted something that caught everyone's attention. Even Nikki Bella had doubts. That admission came during a tense confrontation that perfectly captured what WWE was calling the Divas Revolution. Nikki stood alongside Brie Bella and Alicia Fox, celebrating what she believed was the beginning of another dominant chapter for Team Bella. She acknowledged Sasha Banks and even gave her credit for the fight she had put up against her. But Nikki wasn't about to hand Sasha the championship. Not yet, because in Nikki's mind, one victory wasn't enough. She had held the Divas Championship for 270 days. She had survived challenge after challenge. And she believed that record proved she was still the most powerful woman in sports entertainment. But Sasha Banks had something Nikki couldn't ignore: confidence. The boss wasn't interested in hearing Nikki's victory speech. She interrupted the celebration and made one thing clear. Team Bad wasn't coming to SummerSlam to participate. They were coming to destroy Team Bella. And Sasha wasn't finished. She reminded Nikki of what happened on Monday Night Raw. Sasha had made Nikki tap out. Think about that for a second. The woman who had been calling herself the most dominant Divas Champion in WWE had just been forced to submit. So when Nikki talked about her championship reign, Sasha had the perfect response. She had already beaten her. And if she could do it once, what would stop her from doing it again? Then things became even more personal. Sasha turned her attention toward Brie Bella. Instead of respecting Brie as a competitor, she mocked her connection to Daniel Bryan, suggesting that Brie was simply riding the reputation of her injured husband. That insult immediately changed the atmosphere. Brie wasn't interested in hearing another word. She fired back, making it clear that Daniel Bryan's name had nothing to do with what was about to happen inside that ring. This wasn't just about championships anymore. It was personal. And then another voice entered the fight. Becky Lynch. The woman who proudly called herself the last kicker made it clear that Team PCB wasn't interested in standing on the sidelines while Team Bella and Team Bad fought over control. The argument had become a preview of what was waiting at SummerSlam. 3 teams. 3 different identities. And only one team could walk away with the bragging rights. But before that massive confrontation, WWE gave the audience a preview. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Brie Bella were placed in a triple threat match. And the timing couldn't have been better, because all 3 women represented something different. Brie represented Team Bella. Sasha represented Team Bad. Becky represented Team PCB. There was no room for friendship, no room for alliances, and certainly no room to relax. In a triple threat match, you can't focus on just one opponent. You have to watch everyone. And that became obvious almost immediately. Becky went after Brie. Sasha went after both of them. Brie tried to keep control. Every time someone appeared to have the match won, another woman was there to break it up. That is what made this match so important. It wasn't simply about getting a victory on SmackDown. Sasha Banks continued to show exactly why people were beginning to see her as a serious threat. Her double knees caught both opponents, reminding everyone that the boss wasn't just confident. She was dangerous, and her confidence was growing. But Becky Lynch wasn't backing down either. The last kicker attacked with determination and even hit Brie with a dropkick before following up with another attempt to take control. She wasn't trying to prove she belonged. She was trying to prove she could lead Team PCB to victory. And then there was Brie. After everything Sasha had said about her earlier, Brie had something to prove. She wasn't simply Daniel Bryan's wife. She wasn't standing in Nikki's shadow. She was a competitor, and she had the opportunity to prove it in the middle of the ring. Eventually, After all the chaos, all three women were still fighting for the same thing. Victory. Brie found an opening. She covered her opponent. The referee counted. And this time, there was no escape. Brie Bella won the match. Just like that, Team Bella had another reason to believe they were still the team to beat. But here's the bigger question. Does one victory really prove that Team Bella is the most powerful team in the Divas Revolution? Because Nikki Bella was still facing a much bigger problem. Sasha Banks had already made her tap out. Becky Lynch was becoming increasingly dangerous. Charlotte was waiting on the sidelines. And Team Bad was promising that SummerSlam would end with Team Bella crashing and burning. Meanwhile, Nikki was only 26 days away from making history. That creates an incredible situation. Imagine being Nikki Bella. You're days away from becoming the longest-reigning Divas Champion in WWE history. You have spent months proving that you're the dominant champion. And then, suddenly, a new generation arrives. They're younger. They're hungry. They're confident. And they're not impressed by your championship reign. They don't care how many days you've held the title. They want to take it from you. That's what made this Divas Revolution so fascinating. It wasn't simply about replacing one champion with another. It was about changing the identity of the entire division. The emphasis was shifting toward athleticism and competition. Women like Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte weren't there simply to be part of the show. They wanted to prove that they could become the future of WWE's women's division. And Team Bella was standing directly in their way. SummerSlam was therefore more than another match. It was a collision between the established power and the rising competition. Team Bella believed experience and dominance would carry them through. Team Bad believed Sasha Banks could expose them. Team PCB believed the future belonged to them. But only one team could be standing at the end. And that's where the biggest question comes in. Was Nikki Bella really the most powerful woman in WWE? Or was her championship reign about to become the final chapter of an old era? Because Sasha Banks had already shown that Nikki could be beaten. Brie Bella had just proven that Team Bella could still win. Becky Lynch had shown that she wasn't afraid to fight anyone. And SummerSlam was approaching fast. 26 days stood between Nikki Bella and history. But one night stood between Team Bella and humiliation. The Divas Revolution had officially become a war. And when those three teams finally collided at SummerSlam, there would be nowhere to hide. One team would prove they were the future. One team would walk away disappointed. And one question would finally begin to get an answer. Who really runs the Divas division?